everybody, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I wanted to share with you guys a process video today. I'm going to be making some St. Patrick's Day cards. Yeah, I know, from the person who can't get out Christmas cards on time or even Valentine's Day cards on time, I am way ahead of the game doing St. Patty's Day cards. Woohoo! This is a DT project for Diamond dies, and I use this fabulous, I think it's called the Dinormous Stack'ems circle nesting die set from Diamond dies. It is amazing. It has 20 dies in this set, and I actually pulled out 7 of them. These are the ones that I used. I started with the largest circle die and then went down every other one until I got to 7 so that I could make this rainbow effect of these rings to make a rainbow on my cards. So what I did was I cut out each ring using 2 at a time on different colored cardstock. And as you can see, they're all nested here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them in 4s. So I'm trying to line it up on my cutting mat. I'm gonna take my ruler here, trying to make sure they don't move on me. And then just take an X-Acto cutting blade. So I'm gonna take this witch's boot from the Diamond Dies Halloween set and make them into leprechaun boots for St. Patty's Day. And I had this little tiny scrap of glitter paper and I wanted to make the boots glittery. So I'm gonna show you guys how you get both the left and the right boot from this one die. So first I'm cutting with my cutting blade facing down. I'm not worried about the top part because I'm gonna be using a little piece of white cardstock to do the top part. I just want the boots. And I'm gonna roll it through my Big Shot. There's the boot, one boot. And now I'm gonna roll it the other way, but I'm gonna put the boot, see I had it this way, now I'm gonna flip it this way and put it under the paper. Right? Now I have the left and the right boot. That in particular is to the 2 Jens, Scrapbina Creations, and oh yeah, it's Jen, because they were wondering, how do you get the left and the right of something when you just have the one die? And that's how you do it. Once you place on top and then once you place underneath. And if you want to just use the one cutting plate to make sure all your cuts, just damage one plate, you just flip over the whole piece of paper. Okay? So I wanted to show you guys how I'm going to make my pot for my pot of gold. What I've done is I've taken another circle die. This is the 9th one from the inside, counting out, and I cut out a circle. And then you would think that this is just the top part of this circle, but I actually cut out a second circle and cut out just a little bit more. See how that would be a little larger? Because what I wanted to do is make sure that I had a large enough lip. So there's my pot. And I'm just gonna take this little glue here and glue that down. So I wanted to do a little template to create a cloudy background, and I'm just using a scrap piece of paper, drawing in some arches. And then I'm just gonna cut it out freehand. And obviously you don't have to be so careful about cutting on the lines and things like that. What I do think though, in order to make really nice puffy clouds, it's important to have smooth arches when you're cutting. This is not great because of course on camera it's always worse. do some cloud inking, which is some pale blue ink. And I think it's nice when you can get different cloud formations. So flipping the stencil will help with that. So I wanted to show you guys how to do the same kind of soft technique that I did for the clouds, but for grass. And what I did was I cut out of a piece of scrap cardstock the grass, and I used the actual grass die cut on another card, but this one I'm going to put on here like a stencil, and I'm going to take my green ink and a finger dauber. This will allow me to create a soft grassy look. Isn't that great? So after I did that grass stenciling, I realized, how am I going to make my pot look like it's nestled in the grass? So what I did was I actually took the grass die and cut the bottom part of the pot out so that I can just nestle it here. And I just inked a little bit more green here so I don't have to be exact about it. And now it looks like my pot is nestled in a field of grass. Now I haven't glued this down yet, but I wanted to go ahead and make the little leprechaun's shoes or boots, because I'm going to have him diving into the pot of gold. And so I die cut out the boots left and right in black on this one. And I also cut it out in white, the whole boot. The top of the boot, I want it to look like, you know, it's rounded so that it looks like there is a leg in there. So I'm just gonna fussy cut that out and give it a slight arch, if you can see that. I'm gonna do that to both of them. Now I can assemble this. So the last bit now is the assembly. And I'm just going to take my little Aleene's tacky glue and start putting down the rings of the rainbow. I'm going to pop in these leprechaun boots. And that's how it's going to look when I glue it all together. The last little touch I'm going to add to this is I'm actually going to put glossy accents over the pot so that it has a nice shine to it. Oh, and as you can see, I added gold buckles, and I did that with my gold metallic jelly roll pen. And that should add a nice shine to it. And if you'll notice, when I was doing the glossy accents, I kind of tried to follow the curve of how I thought anything dripping out of the pot would curve over the roundness of the pot. And the last little thing I wanted to add was some gold stickles. This is actually called champagne, but that's the only gold that I have. I do add a sentiment that I printed out on my computer on this card, and actually I make 2 cards in this style. I'll add some pictures at the end. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.